What's good, everyone? Giant Opinions. So there's been some rumors lately about Juan Soto and his future with the Nationals. So could he get traded? In my opinion, I think he could get traded at or before the deadline. I think there's a pretty high shot at that. Now, there are definitely multiple reasons. If you look at the Washington Nationals roster as a whole, they're kind of in a weird spot where they have some young talent they acquired last year in Keibert Ruiz and Josiah Gray, but they also have an old and aging roster. They have Alcides Escobar at shortstop, and it's just, I don't know. They're in last place right now. They're 13 and a half games back from first place. They have to face the Mets, who are a super team. They have to face the Marlins with great pitching. They have to face the Braves, the reigning World Series champions. And it's honestly not looking good with their future. I doubt they can make a run. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, Juan Soto turned down a deal from them. The Washington Nationals offered him a deal worth $350 million. What happened? He turned it down. So he might not even want to stay in Washington, even if they were to hold on and they wanted to re-sign him. There's no guarantees that he would stay there. So from that perspective, wouldn't you want to get a lot in return for one of the best players in baseball? And let me just jump into this. I think pretty much every team would be on the Juan Soto sweepstakes. He is probably one of the best hitters we've seen come into the game in a long time, and probably the most disciplined hitter since Joey Votto in his prime. Juan Soto, go to his Baseball Savant page. It is unreal. You will see him be in the top percentile of pretty much every hitting stat. It's all red. Now, defensively, he's a little bit of a, I don't want to say a complete liability, but he's really not a Gold Glover in the outfield by any means. But the universal DH is now a thing. So a team could just stick him at a designated hitter, and that wouldn't even be a problem at all. He's just so valuable with his bat. He's had a positive WAR in every single season. He has more walks than strikeouts. It's unbelievable. I think he already has 400 career walks, which is unbelievable, and only being in the league for 5 years pretty much, including the 60-game season. But the Washington Nationals, if they're going to trade Juan Soto, a team's got to have to give up a lot to go get him. But I do think that teams will give up a lot to get him. Because, like I said, he's one of the best talents that has come out in a long time. He still has 3 years left. He's not a free agent until 2025. So a team has him under a relatively team-friendly contract until then. So teams will be willing, whether they're in a win-now mode to go get him, or whether they're looking for the future, just to add a franchise-changing player. Juan Soto could definitely be that franchise-changing player. So I think he would garner a lot of interest. But the team that does end up trading for Juan Soto will have to give up a lot of top prospects and a very good players. Probably a few established players mixed in with some very good prospects. So I think that teams that don't really have the best farm systems will not be able to get Juan Soto. Teams like the Mariners, the Rangers, potentially the Yankees, the Giants, those teams very well might make a shot at Juan Soto because they have the capital to go acquire him. Because the Nationals, if you're going to trade away Juan Soto, you better be getting a lot of players and a lot of highly thought of players. Because if you trade Juan Soto for, say, 6 or 7 high prospects, odds are at least one of those prospects will hit. It's an outlier that one of them does not. So the Washington Nationals, they'd have to get a great value in return, but I think teams would be willing to give that up easily for Juan Soto. It really depends just who prevails, who offers more. It's going to be a bidding war. That's the thing with Juan Soto. He's a hot commodity. Teams would love to have him. He's an amazing player, one of the best hitters in the game. And I'm not just saying that just because of this video. He legitimately is one of the best hitters in the entire sport of baseball right now. And if you're a true baseball fan, you know that. So to answer the question, I think Juan Soto definitely will get moved, but it'll require a lot to go get him, whether that's the farm system, whether that's established players that are very good. And yeah, I definitely think that there is a real shot, and I'll make another video later on, probably going over the teams that I think are the most realistic to acquire Juan Soto and kind of do mock trades. But I think he will get moved before the deadline. Nationals, they're not in a win now type of mode. They'll have a lot of holes in the roster. And if they trade Juan Soto, they could get a lot of players in return that could potentially fix a lot of those holes. Even though they'd be giving up one of the top players in the league, you never know. They might find another heck of a player through a trade. So that's what I think. Let me know what you all think, Nationals fans. How do you feel? I know you probably want to keep Juan Soto, but in my opinion, I don't think it's likely he'll stay a National for life. And even after the deadline, I think he'll be on a new team wearing a different hat. Hopefully this team. But hey, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. I appreciate it, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.